The recent OCC statement is financial history in the making. It's a structural shift in how the financial system will operate going forward. And when you look closely, it aligns almost perfectly with the architecture that Stronghold has been building for years. The OCC is saying in clear language that banks must be able to interact with multiple distributed ledgers whenever those ledgers are part of legitimate banking activities. That means Ethereum, Stellar, Ripple, private ledgers, permission networks. All of them become extensions of banking infrastructure. If a payment settles on a DLT, the bank needs to be there. If a liquidity movement requires a native token, the bank needs to hold it. If the network charges fees, the bank needs to pay them directly on-chain. This is a fundamental shift. Crypto isn't outside the system anymore. It is the system, and modern banks are expected to plug into it. Now think about what this demands behind the scenes. Banks will need ways to translate messages, reconcile blockchain instructions with ISO 2022, route transactions across different rails, and maintain strict compliance. KYC, AML, audits, transaction metadata, identity fields. They'll need orchestration layers capable of bridging traditional finance with tokenized flows. This is exactly where Stronghold's infrastructure becomes relevant. Stronghold Net was designed as a compliance-first interoperability layer, a network that understands the language of blockchains like Stellar and Ripple, but also the structured messaging standards that banks depend on. The acquisition of 20,022 Labs wasn't a coincidence. It gave Stronghold the ability to translate between classic payment formats and tokenized settlement in real time. And when you revisit my post with the idea of Stronghold evolving into something that operates like a super app with embedded accounting, tax-ready records, multi-rail connectivity, and automated compliance, you realize that what once sounded speculative might actually be the natural direction of travel. The pieces are already there. The logic is there. And now the regulation seems to be catching up. The OCC is effectively confirming the trajectory. The future financial stack isn't one ledger, it's many, each with its own rules, tokens, settlement models, and liquidity mechanics. And the organizations that can connect those ledgers, translate between them, and keep everything compliant are the ones that become indispensable. Stronghold sits exactly in that position, and SHX, as the token that supports incentives, liquidity dynamics, and ecosystem activity, becomes even more relevant as these networks move from experimentation to regulated mainstream financial infrastructure. This isn't just another crypto headline, it's the regulatory green light for everything we've been analyzing. The rails exist, the standards exist, the compliance wrapper exists, and now the banks are being told to step onto the network. The bridge is already taking shape, and Stronghold positioned right in the middle of it. Know what you hold.